I'm J.R. Duff with IMS Tri-Mechanical, and we're here at our corporate headquarters in Oswego, Illinois. I'm very excited today. I'm with an industry leader, somebody who's a veteran of 45 years within the plastics industry. Steve Petrakis, welcome today.
Thanks, my good friend. I appreciate it.
Good to see you here.
Good to see you.
So I've got a couple of questions I'd like to go through with you, and if you could give us some insights, that would be fantastic.
Love to.
So, can you give us a brief summary of your career and how some of the things have changed over the years?
Well, the first time I set foot in a plastics plant, I was 5 years old. My father was in the industry, and it happened to be on a weekend when they were doing inventory, and for a long time I thought he counted barrels for a living. But that was my first step into the industry. It was years later when I got back involved after college as a rep in the Chicago area.
Wow.
And things have changed so much in the past 45 years. I remember walking in and watching them bucket material by hand up a ladder, pouring it into the hoppers, and then somebody had the idea to invent a vacuum device to vacuum out of the barrels on the side of the machine up into the machines.
Yeah.
You know, they used to color materials by opening a drum, pouring in some color concentrate, and rolling it up and down the aisles. And then somebody invented a blender, and so on through the industry. The first sprue picker in the industry was like black magic. People were deathly afraid of them because they were going to crush them inside a mold.
Yeah.
You know, so we've come a long way, and you know, things like nowadays, adiabatic cooling to save water, to save energy, dryers that are using microwave. You know, so many changes. The machinery, injection molding machines now, big as your house, you know, that make the side of a car. So lots of changes in those 45 years.
Well, you've seen a lot, haven't you?
I have.
What would you give for advice for up-and-coming plastics professionals? I know there's a lot of different ways people approach their careers, but what kind of advice would you give up-and-coming professionals for advancing their careers?
Well, the first thing, plastics is wide open. I've mentored a lot of students, talked to a lot of people when they first got in the industry. Hired a gentleman out of college a long time ago as an inside sales engineer, and today he's president of a prominent company.
Wow.
And I guess one thing is get involved. Get involved as much as you possibly can. There's no way to learn everything by just sitting back. Join organizations like the SPE, the Plastics Industry Association. Go out, see other things. Don't just sit behind your desk.
Yeah, that's great advice. I remember growing up, a lot of us did those things, and I hope we get back into those things.
Absolutely.
So you've worked internationally, you've worked domestically, you've had a career that spanned across the globe. How do you think currently the U.S., the United States, stacks up in innovation, in economics, in technology across the industry segments?
Well, without beating ourselves to death as a country.
Yeah, we do a lot of that.
We've got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
You know, we've done well. The industry has grown. I think we're in a mature stage right now. You know, it's been around for a while.
Good point.
You know, the changes that have been going on have been tweaks more than gigantic innovations. Here, it's wide open. You know, we need people to work on the floor. We need mechanics.
Absolutely.
You know, we also need people that are engineers, who are free thinkers, who can come up with the next best, greatest, whatever it is.
Yeah, very good. So I've got a question that I think everybody's always interested in. It's certainly one of the biggest events of our industry, and happens every 3 years. This year it didn't happen due to the pandemic and the circumstances that are in today's world. The NPE didn't happen this year. So you obviously have a lot of insight to what happens with certainly that business unit. What's going to happen with the NPE moving forward?
Well, the NPE has grown over the years.
It has.
I mean, my first NPE was 1976. Wow. McCormick Place, one building, and we've grown to this past year, which was last week, when the NPE should have taken place.
Absolutely.
We were well over 1 million square feet of exhibit. It was a tough year, and we waited till the last second to determine whether we could have this show or not. And it wasn't practical, and it wasn't safe. And we have to look at the safety of the entire industry.
Absolutely.
So we had to cancel it, but we're already planning 2024. The team's already in place. Good. In July, the NPE committee is getting together, say, all right, what did we learn from this past year? What can we do better for 2024? How can we make it bigger, better? So it's already in the works. It's going to happen.
There's a lot of people that are very, very excited to hear that, I'm sure. It's neat that you're not only considering, or not only having the NPE coming up in 3 years from now is
right, 2024,
but also going to be making it bigger and better.
Every year, that's what our plans are.
That's fantastic. I have one big question to ask, and I know it's important for our industry, if nothing else, to survive, much less grow. Do you have a call to action for the industry, for the people, for the companies out there? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Like I said before, we're a mature industry.
We are.
And we've got to grow. And what we need to do is go out and find the next best thing. All right, we don't need to tweak another dryer. We don't need to tweak another chiller.
Right.
And again, nothing against those products. I've sold them and used them for my entire career.
Yeah.
But just like the innovators at the beginning who invented the first dryer, who invented the first chiller, what's next? Is it cooling molds without water? I don't know.
Somebody does.
Right. It's like, when you sit in a hotel and you go to breakfast in the morning, you think somebody could invent a toaster that could toast bread in less than 3 minutes? That's what our industry needs to do. That's what we need to do to grow. Because plastics, regardless of what you hear on the news, is one of the biggest industries. It saves lives every single day. We cannot do without it.
Nope.
And it's just going to get bigger and better, and we've got to embrace it.
Those are fantastic insights. I could not agree more. I think that every industry out there needs to do their part in innovation. If we're going to survive, much less strive and thrive, every business, every individual needs to be thinking about exactly what you're saying. And that's creating the next innovation that makes the world even better. Because, like you said, plastic is fantastic.
It is. And if I have to say one last thing, it's pay it forward.
Yeah.
I have lived my life that way. Pay it forward. Do something for somebody else so that they can do something for somebody else. And that's the way we're going to keep this industry moving.
Wow, Steve, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad we were able to spend some time together today. Congratulations on your upcoming retirement.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be able to, as busy as you've been throughout your career, I hope you'll be able to find some new hobbies and some new enjoyments to do. See those beautiful grandchildren of yours and that lovely wife of yours. And Steve, thank you for your time. We really appreciate you being here.
JR, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.